Harley. You ready to go in? Huh? You want to go in? Come on, Misty. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on. This way. This way. Come on. Misty. There you go. Let's see. Come on.
Did you videotape her?
Yeah.
Did she recognize it?
Oh, yeah. Well, welcome back. It's been a little while since I've done a video, so it's time to kind of get caught up here. I've actually been home for probably about 4 weeks. I've kind of lost track. But I am getting ready to head back out. First stop is Las Vegas. I'm going to head to the Nuvo factory. I'm going to have some service done. And then also I'm going to get the opportunity to preview and do a video of the next. So I'm looking forward to that. I haven't seen it, so you know as much as I do on it. The only thing I really do know is that it will follow I guess the design elements of what you would expect from Nuvo, so that's pretty exciting. So I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to share it. That video won't be released though until towards the end of September, because they are going to be unveiling it at the Lake Tahoe Adventure Van Expo, which I'm going to that as well. In fact, Nuvo is going to have a little camp out there, or have an area where they're going to camp together. So they're unveiling it there, and then that's when I'll be releasing the tour video of it. So I'm really looking forward to that. So Michigan was so much fun. Actually, after Michigan, so in my last video I was in Wisconsin, so I actually went to visit after that campground, or after the KOA, I went to visit some friends that actually live in Wisconsin. They're also van travelers. They travel in their Beyond, but they were home for a little bit, so I stopped to see them, spent a couple days with them. And then I headed up to Duluth, and Duluth was really cool. I got to watch one of the big ships come in, so that was really cool. You know, it was kind of funny because I guess in my mind I thought like they're just coming in and out all day, and they're really not. I mean, it's there's actually a schedule for when the ships come in or go out, and it's like one, maybe two a day, and sometimes, you know, it could be in the middle of the night or whatever. So it was pretty cool. I got to see one come in, and he was the captain was pretty enthusiastic with sounding the horn for everybody that was watching. So that was really cool.
There's somebody in the front one.
Waving. There's somebody in the front waving.
Like this. I am looking at
They do a job. I wouldn't want to do.
like being on the boat or
That's pretty fun.
and after Duluth, I kind of worked my way up to a couple of small towns north of Duluth, and then decided to just work my way back home to Texas because, I had a few things to take care of here and stuff. So like I said, getting ready to head out. I leave in a couple days. I'm actually going to spend 2 nights at a state park. I guess it's Cap Rock Canyon, so it's not sure how far from Amarillo it is, because so that part of the route I'm going to take is a little bit different. I've done I-40 so many times going back and forth that, it's not as interesting anymore, because it's like, well, I've done the Route 66 stuff through there. You can only do some of that stuff so many times, right? So this one, I'm going to take a little bit different route, and I'm going to spend 2 nights at that state park, and I think, fingers crossed, I should see some wildlife and stuff, because it looks like they wander freely around there, so that should be really cool, like bison and things. So I'm hoping I see some bison. But I decided to do 2 days there. That way, it's not just, because I'm going to have long drive days, because from there, it'll probably be, I think I'm going to drive about 6 hours, and then another 6 hours, and then up to Las Vegas. So, because I'm just trying to make that trip pretty quick, or at least to get to Las Vegas. So I thought, well, if I at least have a little bit of something that's interesting on the way. And actually, Misty is not going to be coming with me on this trip. I decided not to bring her because it's going to be, warmer in Las Vegas. And since I'm having some work done, I don't know, they may or may not have to have the van overnight. In case they do, I didn't want to have to worry about, finding a place that allowed pets. And I didn't want to worry about making sure she stays cool in here. And the other thing I've got to figure out, she does like to get out, and I've been lucky so far that when she gets out, she just kind of goes under the van, and I can get her back fairly easily, but it's a little nerve-wracking, and so I've got to figure out, and that is with the gate up. I actually watched her one day, jump, over the gate, and I figured out what it is I think when she sees, daylight from under the bug wall, she figures out that she can get out through there. So I'm trying to figure out a few things. I may put some Velcro down there. I'm not sure. I've got to figure out how it lines up where I can attach it. If I don't do that, I'm kind of debating also switching out to a roll-off. If you've seen those, that's another roll-up screen. And they're actually weighted on the bottom so that they kind of adhere more to the door, if that makes sense. So just kind of some things I'm thinking about. I've looked at different gates and the other thing is the gate that I have, the side that has the hinges, I've noticed it's scratching up my, the plastic on the door, and it's even scratched up because I store it in the shower when I'm driving, and I've noticed it's scratched up the side of the Nautilus door. So, and I don't want to attach a gate to my cabinet, because the cabinets are nice, and I don't want to attach anything to it, with screws or anything. So I'm trying to figure out what my options are, basically, to make sure that she doesn't try to get out. But hopefully the next trip she should be with me, because it's going to be weird not having her, and she's my little travel buddy, so I'm going to be kind of lonely without her. But we'll see. And the other thing, so regarding temperature, so I had a Waggle. I had it in the Beyond, and for the most part it worked pretty well. There was a couple times where I had little issues with it connecting, but overall it would connect. Well, it's obviously when I sold the Beyond, and took everything out, when I went to set it up in here, for whatever reason, it would not charge up. And I could never get it to connect, and I would follow all the things for resetting it. So I just couldn't get it to work. And I reached out to them, and of course, like with everything, right, it was outside of the warranty. So they're like, yeah, well, you got to just buy a new one. And so I was like, I don't know, maybe I was just feeling stubborn, but I was like, I don't want to get another one, because to me it should have still been working, because it didn't. All I did was take it out of one van and then try to bring it into another. I didn't throw it against a wall or do anything nefarious with it. There was no reason for it not to be working. And the fact that it, wasn't covered by warranty at that point, I mean, it was like literally just outside warranty. So anyway, so a friend of mine, hello Justin, if you're watching this, he mentioned he uses, because he has a dog, he uses the Apple HomePod, and he's gotten that to work for him. So I thought I would give that a try. But same thing, I and I'll probably have to pick his brain one of these times to figure out how he keeps it working, because a lot of times my HomePod doesn't always connect to my network. So I've got, my T-Mobile, and then I also have my satellite for when I don't have a good cell signal. And so sometimes it'll connect to that, and my phone might be connected to the, anyway. And when you go into the HomePod, and this could be end user issues, but I was following the steps, like if your HomePod is not on the same network with your phone, how to get it onto the network, and I can't find the setting, and then I'll just keep playing with it, and then it'll eventually connect. Well, I'm not comfortable with Misty in the van. I'm out, taking a boat tour somewhere, and I'll use that as a good example because you can't just jump off the boat. And then not being able to figure out or find out, is the van still comfortable for her? So anyway, I was looking again to see what are alternatives to Waggle? And this is not a sponsored video. I just want to make that clear. This is just something I'm sharing. And I found this one. It's called I think it's called Necto. I think that's how you say it. And this one actually comes with a 2-year subscription already. So that's the other thing with the Waggle. It's a monthly subscription, which you can cancel at any time, but that's kind of annoying too. Where this one, it's 2 years, and then after that, I think it's like $30 a year. Where Waggle, I think, is almost, I don't know if it's 30 a month, or 20 a month, 20 or 30 a month. I'm not really sure. I'd have to look. So I thought, well, that's a pretty good deal. So I'm going to give this a try. And I thought, and it has an app and everything. I haven't set it up yet. So what I'm going to do is on this trip, have it all set up and then just kind of test it to see, am I able to connect to it consistently? Can I check on the van and stuff? And then that way, if it works, then I'll be a lot more comfortable with her being in here when I'm in warmer climates. I mean, so far, when I was in Florida, and then, let me see, what have all my trips been? Okay, so Quartzsite, Florida, and then up to Michigan. All those trips, I didn't really deal with hot weather. In Michigan, obviously, there was a day or two here that got warm. And on those days, I usually went somewhere and was plugged in and had the AC running, so I wasn't leaving her in the van. But if I'm somewhere, and I'll use Las Vegas as an example. It's warm there probably. I saw a light flip on. I just realized I left my cabinet open. It's warm there most of the year. So, if she were to come with me on this trip and, I wasn't having the van worked on or anything like that, and she was to come with me and say I wanted to go to, and I'll use this as a good example, wanted to go to the, what is that museum? It's they have a lot of museums, but there's that one, the neon sign museum, where they have all the old neon signs from all the old casinos and stuff. So say I went there, and so she's in the van and I've got the AC running, I want to be able to be comfortable knowing, okay, it's 100 degrees out. I want to check the van. Is the AC still on? Is the temperature still good? I want to get alerted too. If the power goes out, maybe the battery drained, and I get an alert and it tells me, okay, the power's out. So I know I have to go back, or I have to, I can keep tabs on it. That's really what I'm trying to say, because you just never know. So this trip, I'm going to get it set up and then test it out, and then, and I'll let you know what I think of it. Like I said, that's not a commissioned or sponsored video or anything. This is just something I came across, and I thought I'd share it because I know a lot of people do travel with their pets, and that's a big concern too, because these are vehicles and they do get warm. I mean, they're metal, so they're going to get hot if you don't have the AC on. So I'll have some more videos as I'm traveling to Las Vegas. Really looking forward to checking out that state park. I've kind of had it on my list for a while now. And when I was trying to figure out a more interesting route to take instead of just going through Amarillo like I always do, I happened to see, because I keep little pins on my map of places I want to go to. And then I saw that and I was like, oh, that's what I should do, is go through that way. And so every stop on this trip is going to be different than my typical stops. Well, I say different. I'm stopping in different places than I usually do, because I usually go Amarillo. Like if I really am trying to get there, it's Amarillo, Grants, New Mexico, Kingman, Arizona, and then up to Vegas. So this time it's going to be a little bit different. So I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, I'm really hoping I see some bison. So when I was coming back down, I stopped in Clear Lake and went to the Surf Ballroom, which is where Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, the Big Bopper, that was like their last show, the night that they, of their plane crash. And I also went to the crash site, which was, it's really interesting that all these years later, it's still really, a lot of people, like when I went out there was a lot of people going out to see it. But the Surf Ballroom was so cool. It was I think what made it really, really interesting. I mean, obviously they had a lot of memorabilia and things on the wall, but all the architecture and everything is the original architecture. Like they haven't, like the booths are the original booths that were there, from whenever it was first built. Like they haven't upgraded anything, which it seems weird, but I'm like, I love that they did that, because, so many times you see something and either it's been renovated and then maybe in a corner, or they'll have a picture, or they'll have like a corner where like, oh, this is what it used to look like, or you just go to a museum and they have a replica of something. Like this was the actual, like, it's like you could actually go back in time, and it was so cool. I wish more places were like that. I mean, I know time marches on, whatever, but I sometimes I feel like we're too quick to tear things down and then just put up something in its place that doesn't have the same personality. But it was really cool to see that. I had thought about going through Lubbock to stop by the Buddy Holly Museum to kind of round that out, which eventually I will. I mean, I do plan on going there. So when I drove out to Vegas in April for the open house, that trip I also bypassed Amarillo and then went across through Lubbock. And so that's why I was hesitant to do it this time, because I love far west Texas. And when I say far west Texas, that's like down where Big Bend, Marfa, Alpine, Marathon, all of that. And that area is just beautiful. But West Texas, like the part of West Texas when you're heading out to Lubbock, there's a few small towns, and they're sadly they're kind of dying out. But it is so flat. it is so monotonous. Like there's no real scenery, and I was like, I don't know if I could do that again. And I just remember that day, the drive just feeling so long. So that's kind of why I was like, well, I'll go up to Caprock Canyon, and then I'm still going to go into New Mexico. I think through Clovis. I want to say that's 82. I'm not really sure. And that part wasn't too bad. It's just like this one chunk as you're heading to Lubbock, and I was like, I'm not up to doing that yet again. But I will get to Lubbock to go to the Buddy Holly Museum at some point. Maybe I'll go up and come back down or something. I don't know. I just want to avoid that one strip that is just, there's nothing. So just wanted to do a quick update here and let you know that I'm still here. Just haven't been recording anything. I'll try to get a little bit better about that. But anyway, I'll probably see you in a few days once I get ready to head out here. And like I said, I'm spending 2 nights at that state park. So one full day of just kind of relaxing in the van and enjoying nature. So anyway, see you soon.